with Helena, because it's my first song on the record.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a bit about the song? I know you wrote it about your grandma. Not many people know that.
So. Me and Mikey's grandma passed away actually after the initial writing period for Revenge, and it had a very definite concept at that point. But after she died, it all kind of changed, and it became about really missing her. And that's really what a lot of the record's about.
Do you still think about that when you sing the song live?
Yeah. That song in particular, among a few others like Cemetery Drive, always, yeah.
Cool. Let's play that, start the show off. You're listening to the Backstage Pass. You're sitting here with Gerard and Mikey from My Chemical Romance, one of the biggest bands in the world right now. You guys are on your first headlining tour. Rolling Stone and Spin Magazine both put out stories on you this summer and compared you to superheroes.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's great. I can't think of many rock superheroes. We're big fans of superheroes and comic books, so to us it's very fitting. We also have a different approach towards rock. And I think that's maybe why we don't fall into a lot of rock conventions. We're not a rock cliche. We don't fuck around with drugs or groupies. And we do this because we feel we have to. We do it because it's like a mission to us. We don't do it because we're seeking fame or money or chicks or anything like that. There's you know.
What are you seeking?
Well, at first it was like a therapy, you know, like it was like a calling to us, and it was like we were all born to be together in this band and do this, and we really just sought to change people's lives a great deal, and to change what was happening in music, to change the way people thought about certain things, to change how people treated each other, so many things, you know.
Cool. You guys have action figures coming out?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. You ever think being in a rock band you get action figures?
I never really thought.
Yeah, I was actually at a mall. And I went into the Hot Topic to see if they had them yet, and they weren't there yet. But heard any day now.
Oh, really? Just in time for Christmas season?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's a weird thing. I mean, you know, we debated about action figures. I mean, there's a lot of items that come your way where you're like, I don't know if this is right. You don't want to exploit what you're doing, you know. But then that came along, and we were like, well, you know, it's action figures of ourselves. Like, you know, why wouldn't we want that?
That's awesome. Let's play another song. Your choice, either Hang 'em High or The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You.
Hang 'em High.
How come?
I think it's a much more meaningful song. Actually, no, that's actually weird to say. Jet Set is pretty meaningful. It's about drug addiction almost entirely. Hang 'em High is just a lot more fun, I think. So.
Let's play that. Your first headlining tour. I was reading a bunch of interviews, you know, getting preparation for this interview, and it said you guys wanted to do a big elaborate tour, a big theatrical thing, but it kind of got scaled down in time. Can we expect that on the next tour, maybe?
You know, it's weird. I think what got scaled down was the addition of extra members as far as, like, having dancers. I think that's the only thing that really got scaled down. I mean, it's a pretty big production. I mean, there's no pyro, but there's these giant screens, lots of lights, stuff built on stage. I wouldn't exactly call it a set, but in some ways it is. It's like a functional set, if you will, of like a cathedral. You know, it's like 2 cathedral windows. So we didn't really mess around. We wanted to give the fans something. But we also wanted to keep it in a certain realm, whereas next time we do it, we can go bigger. You know, we didn't want to go too over the top.
Nice. You guys are off to Australia in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You guys been there yet?
Never. It's our first time. Very excited. Very excited to be playing with Green Day again.
Oh, really? That was the story?
Yeah, they asked us to come out and play these stadium shows with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
You think you're going to get a chance to sightsee, or is it more all work for you guys?
I heard it's work every day, all day.
Sightsee at all.
No sightseeing.
We usually never do.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it hard work being in a band? Is it really hard?
It's really hard work. I mean, what's work is not making music, not performing music. That's why you're in a band. That's what a band is. Mm-hmm. All the other stuff is work. Like sitting there for 23 hours waiting to play is work. Yeah. Doing these things is work. A lot of the times, not always. You know, a lot of times. I mean, sometimes it's a really good way to get across your message. So ultimately, that's benefiting you. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Cool. Let's play something off the first record.
Okay.
Either Cubicles or Head First for Halos. Why don't you choose?
Head First, definitely.
How come?
I just like the song better.
Fair enough.
Cubicles, will never play again.
Why is that?
It makes no sense musically and lyrically. It's probably my most embarrassing lyrics. It does mean something. I was working in a lot of offices. I was like a perpetual intern for like 4 years. So I thought the sterility of the office was something I wanted to write about, but it ultimately did not fit into the vibe of the band.
You covered Under Pressure with the Used. Put it on iTunes. How come that song? Where did you guys come up doing that song?
That was Bert's idea to do that one. We're both big fans of Queen and David Bowie, and he knew that we'd kind of take more of the Queen side, and he'd do more of the Bowie side, and you know he'd been looking for a duet for a long time, and he just came up with that one.
Cool. Now, he said lately, I found some news that there's a falling out between you guys.
Yeah, he's a big joker.
Oh, he's just lying?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. Good. Good that you guys are still friends. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we play that song, Under Pressure?
Yeah, sure.
2 versions of the Not Okay video.
Yes.
How come?
We wanted to give our fans something initially, like a visual representation of maybe kind of what we were going through at the time as a band. In a lot of ways having nothing to do with the song. So, you know, our label said, well, let's just make this video just for the web. And that's all it was intended for. And then it started getting a lot of TV play, and which we had never really intended. And we always wanted to make a real video for it. So we were always kind of waiting to do that, though. We were in no rush to make a real video, but the video was still playing. So it prompted us to make a real video.
That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Give 'Em Hell was the first single. Was I right in saying that?
Yeah, you did your homework. It was supposed
to.
Well, at the time, well, here's the thing. We don't write singles, so we just write the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, the only thing the label and Howard had heard as a single was Give 'Em Hell.
Who's Howard?
Howard Benson, our producer.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was kind of like, oh, Give 'Em Hell. Give 'Em Hell's the one. But at the time, they hadn't heard what we were currently working on, and it was so many great songs. Like, whereas in the end, Give 'Em Hell ended up being like this kind of song where it was an awesome song, but they're like, wow, there's so many other songs that are way better as a single we'd like to use. And we have it in our contract where we don't, you know, a lot of bands fight for like singles rights. They get to pick the singles, and we didn't want to do that because then that means we're writing songs to be singles, and you're fighting over something that you have no idea about. You're not a record company. You signed with a record company so they could do their job. So we let them just pick the singles.
Is there going to be a 4th single? Or I guess at this point,
actually, no. We're done. Unfortunately, we're not going to make another video as much as they're a lot of fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna leave it with Ghost, and that'll be it.
Cool. I want to talk about Ghost in a second, but let's play a song, either Give 'Em Hell or Not Okay, since we spoke about both of those.
Ooh, let's do Give 'Em Hell. Just because I think it's a track that doesn't get played much on the radio.
Downloading of music. Do you think it's helped you or harmed you more, the illegal stuff?
I think it's something that this band, fortunately, has not seen a large effect from. When we were starting as a band, it helped, you know? So it's not something that, you know, we're going to now turn on and be like, oh, it's so evil. But, because, I mean, the only way people found out about our band in the beginning was the internet, you know? But at the same time, there comes a point where, you know, with any band, like, these people are trying to live. Not even be rich, just to live and have somewhere to sleep. And, you know, it's like if you bought a comic book, you're supporting the artist. Or you bought a novel, you're supporting the writer. It's like you buy the record if you want to support the artist. If you just want to steal it, that's one thing. But, you know, I've always said, download it if you want. If you like it, go buy it. If you don't like it, there's no reason you should buy it.
But at least you heard it and give it a shot.
Yeah, at least you heard it. It's almost like, you know, you could hear it for free. Every record that I've loved, I bought. I remember sometimes it took me a while. I found At the Gates on the internet. I downloaded the whole record. I listened to it for about 2 months, and then I bought it, you know.
Yeah, I buy everything that I download. You know, if I'm not too sure about it, I'll download it to listen to it, but I'm a geek. I have to have, like, the cover and the...
You gotta go through the liner notes.
Gotta have everything.
I know what you mean. Let's play another song, either Prison or To the End.
Prison, for sure.
That's one of your guys' favorites.
Yeah, it's our favorite live song. It's got a lot of really great homoerotic stuff going on in it, and it's just an awesome song.
Life on the Murder Scene, the new DVD coming out. You want to give people just an idea what's going to be on that? When it's coming out?
It's a really, well, it should be coming out somewhere in February. We pushed it back because we want it to be perfect, and it's really long. It's 3 discs.
3 discs?
Well, the documentary is 1 whole disc it takes up, and then the rest is audio and videos, a live performance. It's very interesting to watch the band in the documentary and then to see a live performance footage of that right after, because you're just like, wow, like
you totally transform
you totally you start to really realize how much the stage transforms all of us, because it's night and day, you know. It's really in depth. No punches were pulled. We show really everything.
You say it transforms you. Do you guys notice that as a band too? Like,
Yeah.
When is it? Is it before the show that you guys start to get into character, or is it as soon as you step on stage you just get that?
It's the lights going off.
Yeah.
When those lights go off, we're in that mode, you know.
That's cool. When does it come on? Does it take you all the way off the bus?
It kind of ebbs away out of you. Like on that walk from stage to backstage, it's usually gone by then.
Cool.
You know.
Nice. What else I want to talk about? Arena rock for the next album. You guys said it's going to be more of an arena rock record. How much have you written? How much?
We've written 12 songs, maybe like 14. They're only skeletons, so we have to get together and really hammer them out. But
yeah, there'll be songs before long though.
Yeah, I mean,
give us time with them.
You know,
how do you guys write?
All together, it's easier to write acoustically, but somebody has an idea, brings it to the table, and then everybody just puts their mark on it, really. And actually, for the greater good of the song, though, I feel it going in a more arena rock area for sure.
Cool. Is that what the next tour is going to be like? I know you want to make it more theatrical. And stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely push it next time. I think we're gonna call in a production designer for the first time and really discuss theatrics.
Cool.
What we can do.
We were talking about the Ghost of You before. Let's play the song now, and then I want to talk about the video right now.
Okay.
Video, very much like Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Was the song written about the war?
No, it was written about the fear of loss, and the way we decided to show. You know, there's nothing worse than losing somebody to war, because they're so distant from you anyway. And it's kind of like you don't know what's going on, and then one day you just get a letter, and that's the way you find out. You know, our video is much less of a political statement and more of a statement about humanity, you know, and about how war is just truly horrible. Not about any specific political agenda, though.
How do you guys feel about the war?
War completely is terrible. You know, I mean, there's times when it feels like you might need it. You know, obviously you have to defend yourself and protect things, and you know, World War II, obviously a necessary evil. I don't know about current wars being a necessary evil. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it's all terrible. You know.
How come you guys decided to go back to World War II for it and not use the current situation?
To make less of a political statement. To, you know, there's kind of a mystique about World War II now, even though it was a terrible war. Like, I mean, a lot of amazing things happened at that time. Like, you know, you still hear war stories and you still hear these crazy things to this day. Like, people regard the people in that war as heroes. And, I mean, truly, everybody that goes to war is a hero. But there's just something there's a mystique about that war. You know.
Nice. We do this thing every week on the show called 5 Questions. 5 quick questions, just one-word answers from each of you. The first one: iPod or CDs?
iPod.
Lennon or McCartney?
Lennon.
Alcohol or marijuana?
Alcohol, but neither.
Yeah,
actually.
alcohol, but neither.
Song you've written you're most proud of?
Helena.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one as well.
And one word: My Chemical Romance.
Awesome.
Insane.
One song to close us out. Any My Chemical Romance tune. What do you guys want to hear?
Early Sunsets over Monroeville.
There you go. Early Sunsets over Monroeville.
Cool. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome.